Only 10 o'clock and you spent how many minutes on social media already?
All right, hold on. Let me just...
I'm going to blow up your spot right now.
Let me just clarify
42 minutes.
It says 42 minutes, but that includes text messages. So it's not just, if you click through here, it'll say on Instagram, only 16 minutes today on Instagram.
How many text messages?
17 minutes.
And it's only 10 o'clock.
There's a lot to do.
I think that's a lot of time. Yeah. All right, well, we'll see how the day progresses. Stephanie, you should give your updates throughout the day on your Instagram.
I will. That's actually a really good idea. Let me screenshot this right now. And how are we doing with the sound over there, guys? Is everything working on Facebook? We're good? Okay, just wanted to be sure that everyone can hear us so we can keep going. In other updates, so Instagram, they've rolled out a big update. They say it's available to everyone. I will officially report that this is not available to everyone yet, but we think it is going to be coming. Instagram shopping through Instagram stories, as well as an Instagram shop explorer tab. So they said this was rolled out yesterday to everyone. We don't all have it yet, but it looks like it is coming, and this is going to allow brands to really monetize even more through Instagram stories.
And I say this all the time. I always discover new brands on Instagram, and I'm always buying things that I'm seeing. So I like this because it just makes it much more simple to buy something that I'm seeing on Instagram. And of course, it's another way for Instagram to monetize their platform. And now it's making them a competitor against Pinterest and Wish.
Yep, absolutely. So this is going to be a very, very big one for brands as soon as it's officially available.
So we'll keep reporting on this one because this is huge. And we do have a Snapchat update today, but before I get to that, we didn't announce that we have a guest today, Dale Moss, and if you share this episode, you're going to win a bag of all of his favorite things. So be sure to share this episode because...
I wish I could win, but I don't think I'm allowed to.
Well, I think you got a good bag of things yesterday at the event that we went to. But in Snapchat news, this is a good update for them, and as we know, or as we might know, they actually lost 3 million users last quarter. So they are, declining in terms of users, and of course, it's very, very important for them to have more and more content updates. So this one allows them to curate stories with 20 partners like CNN and Cosmopolitan, and now this, and essentially it enables you to be a reporter. So now you can submit your videos and your content to these publishers to try to get on their curated stories about a specific topic, which actually I think is really cool. And people are speculating that Facebook and Instagram are going to immediately copy this, but we'll see.
They're definitely
pretty interesting.
That's the fact.
That's a good
If it works,
update.
if it works for Snapchat, Facebook and Instagram are definitely gonna take it over because that's their model. Find the good from Snapchat and bring it to more people. But we've said this for the past couple of weeks. Although Snapchat has lost a lot of users, their advertising platform is performing well for a lot of brands. We have several brands that are running campaigns, advertising campaigns on Snapchat. And because it's not as crowded of a marketplace for advertising, you can reach a lot of people for only a little bit of money.
Which we love. We love efficient, cost-effective marketing. So Snapchat is still a platform to watch.
Absolutely. And in Twitter news, this is an update that I'm testing out today to see if I actually like this. So a lot of Twitter users were upset when Twitter changed their algorithm that it was not in chronological order anymore. People were complaining, and Twitter finally listened, and now you have the option to set your Twitter app back so it will be in chronological order and not based on the preference of what Twitter thinks you would want to see first or what's trending. I like this because I want to know what's going on currently. I feel like all the other platforms with Instagram and Facebook only seeing what they think I like first. I want to actually see what's happening in real time. So I've changed my setting back, so I'll let you know if I like it.
Yes, I agree. This is a great update. I don't know why they changed it to be that way. It should always be in chronological order because if you're going to someone's page, you're going to want to see what they posted last, not...
It's in the feed. It's in your actual feed.
Oh, got it. So yes, sorry, I misinterpreted that, but yes, I like this update. It makes a lot of sense.
We're not reporting fake news here. We're reporting real news, Corey. All right, the moment we've been waiting for. We are so excited to welcome Dale Moss to SocialLIVE. Come on over, Dale.
Oh, yeah, no, thank
Dale
you.
is an athlete, a model, philanthropist, social media expert. What's he not do? Is there anything you're not good at?
Man, honestly, I just love to connect with people, and obviously we're talking about social media, and that's what it has allowed me to do in a large capacity, so we'll share a little bit of that, I guess, coming up.
Yeah.
So just give everyone an update about how you got to where you are today.
Former NFL athlete. Everything now is focused on the entertainment space. So I've always wanted to be a host. I love just engaging with people. I started off with Wilhelmina, and that kind of happened while I was still playing. I was recruited, if you will, by the agency.
How do they recruit you? They send you an email? They call you? Like, how do they?
I think, they're always scouting, and it was an agency I wanted to work with as well. So while I was playing sports, I knew that the fashion space and entertainment space was something I've always wanted to go into. So I wanted to really align myself with a great agency, and at the time, Wilhelmina was really making a big push. I think Don Benjamin had signed at that time, and they were just crushing it. So I was injured in the off-season training in LA, and I really just kept reaching out to their agency, and then Topher Dupree, who headlines the sports and fitness division here in New York, flew to LA. We sat down and met, and he brought me on board, and it's been a happy marriage ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you realize how important it was to start building your personal brand?
I realized it when I started playing football, honestly. So I grew up in South Dakota, small town cat, and in football we always wear helmets. So I understood very early that people recognize the team, the logo, the crest of the NFL, but I mean, I'd have guys in a locker room next to me, or we'd be at a dinner and they're an all-pro, linebacker, pretty much a Hall of Famer or something, and no one knew who they were. So also being in the entertainment space or wanting to get into that space, I knew that it was important to build brand recognition. And this was early on in social media, but when I came out to New York and finally made the jump and moved out here, it was just right in my face. Yeah.
And what would you say you learned from sports now that you're in the marketing world?
Versatility. And honestly, also always being aware of the self-image. I'm very aware of how I come off on camera or present myself. Now, I like to, think I'm as authentic and, real and as they come and everything. But we were always under a microscope. We were always on, if you will. So that's really helped me adjust to the influencer, the media space, and I've just really adapted to that.
Was there an athlete that you admired or followed that you looked at their career and how they were able to pivot from being an athlete to going into the entertainment space that you modeled your career off of, or how you built your brand?
I think there's a lot of guys who do things differently. Martellus Bennett is doing a lot right now in the creative space with his creative agency. Michael Strahan, it's no secret, everything he's done. And that's a path that I really like because sports is a platform, but he wasn't just doing sports, he's done everything. My idols, honestly, since high school were Ryan Seacrest. How he's built his career is something I've definitely wanted to do. Now Michael Strahan, and being here in New York with all the media outlets and the networks, it's coming along, so I'm very thankful. And social media has played a huge role in that.
Absolutely. Well, we met you, I guess, because of social media. We were at an event and connected, and we're like, got to come on our show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on, and obviously everything that SocialFly is doing is really bringing all the awareness to everyone, because this is a value, it's a tool, and if you want to enhance your brand, it's a no-brainer. You have to get on board because this trend is not going anywhere else.
It's definitely not. It's not a fad. It's reality.
Yeah, it really is.
How do you decide what brands to partner with?
I want to build longevity. So I see a lot, especially here in New York, the bloggers, the influencers, which I use that word very lightly. I don't like being necessarily called an influencer, but
what do you like? What word do you like? Or?
Just a talent, a creative.
Yep.
And so when I work with brands, like I've worked with United Airlines, a lot of larger brands, I want to build something that's going to be a long-term relationship and partnership. And thankfully, I've had things happen and worked in different areas of my career where I can say yes to some, no to others. And I love to create. So if a brand is willing to allow me some creative direction with the campaign we're working on, it's something that we can work together to really make it our own, but it's unique and it resonates with my audience.
Awesome.
How has social media impacted modeling and the sports industry? Are there any guidelines right now for what you're allowed to post, not allowed to post?
So I'll start with modeling. It's completely changed the game in the modeling space, and this is something that I've definitely noticed. I feel like I was a little bit ahead of the curve. By no means viral, but models are no longer just modeling for a brand. They are brand representatives. They are brand ambassadors, and brands are looking at how they can get more sales based on this model's page. So yes, they have a great look, they fit the clothes, but what's that added, a little extra something that's going to help them on their product launch? And it's tough because people are like, oh, I hate being on my phone, this is this and this, but this is the way that media is transformed, and you really have to adapt to it. And the same thing with sports. Branding deals, marketing deals, endorsement deals are all factoring in social media content. I did a Cigna Health campaign, and we were talking about athletes and how you deal with stress management, the opioid epidemic, and all those things. There was a huge social component built into that, which is very rarely, which is something I hadn't really seen before when it comes to a commercial aspect. And even just getting the message out there, teams now have guidelines. PR, you used to not be able to say something to a reporter, but how many times do you see a late night tweet, a late night Instagram post of someone who's upset about something and they let it out to everybody on the internet before they even talk to their team? So it's out there.
Yeah. People are getting fined. People are tweeting during games that things are happening.
Yeah.
How are models and athletes figuring out how to grow their brand? What are the best resources for them?
I definitely feel the best resources within an agency for modeling. Actually, in any aspect, you have to understand who you are and how you want to be presented. So that's numero uno. So when it goes down to, and this comes with planning, you have to look at where you want to go. It's not where you're at right now. You're utilizing this platform to position yourself in a better space and, again, a career for years to come. And then work with your agencies and work with your teams. So if your agency has all these resources, let them know how you want to be seen. Let them know exactly where you want to go with your career, but also see what resources they have available. I mean, I know my agency, one of the few that I work with, has a large staff, and this is what they're specialized in, and we're capped by hours in a day. So that's helpful. And then again, I can't say it enough, visualize, plan out, and you almost have to develop a campaign for your social media strategy, no different than any brand or business.
Do people reach out to you for help because you've been able to become so successful with your social and what you've been able to do?
Yeah, I've had a great response from athletes, former teammates, a lot of people in the modeling industry, really asking how have you grown it. They feel that it comes off in a very organic and real way, and they're seeing response from different brands, and they also see the brands that you align with and work with. So that's something that I'm all for sharing. This is a space that's so vast that we're not competing in.
There's so much opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And I'm working with a mentor of mine, MJ Harris, and we're coming out with an online course that really dives in on how can you monetize social media as an influencer, as a brand, how can you grow your brand recognition? And number one, which most brands are thinking about, is how can you increase engagement?
Yep. And speaking of increasing engagement, you're launching a podcast. Can you tell us a little bit more about the upcoming podcast?
So many things.
How do you keep it all straight?
Digital tech, it allows for, in a positioning it, right? You can front load some. And so the podcast, I am so stoked about this. Right now we have it called The Game Plan. We'll see what the licensing rights say. But essentially it's in-depth interviews with athletes, and they're sharing their keys to success, both business and personally. We're going to talk about their routines and how it's allowed them to have success. And then last, and obviously not least, the impact that they're having on the communities around them. So whether that's philanthropic, what they're utilizing as a platform to really make a change within their city, And we're going to open it up. So we have a lot of Hall of Famers, gold medalists, things like that, Olympians, but we want to open it up to industry. So brands that are working in this space, a little bit of everything.
That's so exciting. Do you know when it's going to launch? Approximate month?
So October we're saying late October.
Late October, okay.
Yeah, we're starting in the studio, and it's so just exciting. Mouth Media does an amazing job, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, I have one more question for you. So I'm always amazed by people who just have so much going on. Can you share with us what a typical day looks like for you? How do you balance it all? So you wake up in the morning, and what's the first thing you do?
So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is... That's good. My days change all the time. So I get up.
Did you check Instagram first?
No, I don't. I stay off my phone right away.
Good.
I mean, if anything, I'll throw something on Instagram. I always say early and often, right when I wake up. Then I'm off it for a little bit. And I love to get up early because I need to extend my hours within a day. And depending on the variables that I can't control, I know that if I get those extra hours in the morning, I can at least plan accordingly. So a lot of that comes, it's all over the place. I've been traveling a lot. Obviously, content, creating things for brands is a big thing. So I really try to front load and get that done in the morning. Training, obviously I got to stay in shape and everything as well. So I wish I could give you an exact blueprint, but you can always count on me just getting up extremely early.
Like what time?
Usually about 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning. What time do you go to bed?
It varies. I get my sleep random times, so I go a lot of sleepless nights, but that's okay. Right now, I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I'm working with great people, great brands. I'm able to do things like this, which I'm so thankful for, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of philanthropy work as well.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you've gotten involved in the philanthropies?
So one of my main things, I'm a global ambassador for Special Olympics, which is very personal to me. My sister was a Special Olympics athlete, and when I was in LA training in the off seasons, they had the World Games in 2015 out there. 7,000 athletes, 150 countries, and I just reached out and said, hey, I want to get involved on a bigger scale. I got to play in the unified experiences, met the most amazing Special Olympics athletes that changed my life more than anything, and since that point have traveled to Austria with them. I speak on inclusive measures around the globe for athletes, but also their school, the programs for unified schools. And I can't even tell you again how amazing they are and the people I've met. We have ambassadors like Michelle Kwan, Dikembe Mutombo. I've met a lot of X Games finalists, NBA, anything, it connects it all. And that's all through giving back and being selfless.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you are so inspiring. You have already had an incredible career, and I know you're just getting started. And we can't wait to say we knew you when, and you were sitting next to us, and we're going to be following your journey. We'll be sharing with our audience when your podcast launch, and keep us posted on everything because we will continue to share it out. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you so much. And this has been amazing. And I think we also have a giveaway.
Yes,
right?
a giveaway. So comment below, share this episode if you want to win all of Dale's favorite things. What can they win? It's going to be a whole variety pack, right?
So I go across the board, but Revere is a big partner of mine. A great plant-based nutrition company, skincare products. Obviously, we're talking about social, be in front of camera and things. So I work with a lot of really high-end skincare brands. So we'll customize that, and then I think just a few surprises if we can get some accessories in there. So the key is comment. Comment below.
Comment below if you want to win. Say you want to be the winner. Share this episode. Tell all of your friends, and we're going to pick one lucky winner. And I said, I wish I could win, but I can't.
Yeah, it'll be a good package.
Someone else.
So, we'll take care of you for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Where can everyone follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at DaleMoss13, Twitter at Dale Moss, and you can see a lot of the other things that are going on my website, officialdalemoss.com, and then facebook.com/officialdalemoss.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you back here next week. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.